Now, would you look at that? Quite a few of you turned out for the voting process over on the Discord, and you have made yourselves quite heard. Evidently, certain people are going to be slightly disappointed, because it was a tight contest for the first week or so. However, as you could probably tell by the thumbnail and the title, because there's no real reason to hide it at this point, I'll be diving into the world of slime. Which sounds worse out loud than it did in my head. Now, I'm not going to lie about this, because I know more about this show than I do for other ones, because it has been somewhat... spoiled would be the wrong word, but certain elements have been let slip, so... But due to my memory being somewhat terrible, and my general lack of fucks given for spoilers, but... let's get going. Should be fun. Okay. I've not seen anything about bombers going through a city, but... I didn't expect to be going back to Saga of Tiny Evil quite so soon. The bombing of a place in Japan? What time frame is this? Unless it's part of a midway through a festival or something. That's gonna hurt slightly. Or be instantaneous. If that's what the show's gonna throw at me in the first minute, it's not really gonna hold back on anything then, is it? If they're fine with showing a war zone and killing off a child, quite the juxtaposition to what we had just seen. What I've learned so far is from fantasy isekai type stories is that the main character either has to be a loner high school student or a loner salaryman. Probably after, having him talk about her? What, from you? What? It's just like Kaguya getting advice from people who don't really have that much experience. Then again, it could just be a general... evening out. Who runs through a street with a knife like that? And for what reason? Who? What was... what? Ow. That would hurt his face. But of course, it's probably not his biggest issue right now. Huh? Stab resist. Yeah, that would have been good a few seconds ago. So what I've learned so far is that if you're dying out, continue talking about things that suck and you don't want, And some strange robotic god voice will be bestowing all of these resistances. That's a lot of blood. Thinking about the important things in your final moments. Yeah, he's not talking to you. Oh. Immune to electric and paralysis. That would be nice. Yeah, you best follow through with the order given to you. Yeah, that much might have been kind of obvious, but whether or not he's going to be blaming himself from now on. Yeah, make sure you keep your wife happy, but on the forethought of your mind needs to be my computer. I'm not sure I... Predator. What a name for a skill, and that's the suggestion given for it. Just keep going on. Just mention everything you want. Have a million fucking skills at the beginning of whatever is going on. Not the most unique of origin stories, but good enough. His original body is then leaving him, and now to be reinvigorated into a new one. I can't say I ever experienced anything quite as embarrassing as that. I don't know what would be most distressing about all of this. Rock. The fact that all this is going on, or starting this life as a weird slime, but not knowing that of what you are, and not being able to speak. Being completely just thrown in the deep end, not knowing anything. Not being able to see, not being able to speak, not being able to feel any of your limbs, because you don't have any. He's taking it in his stride so far. Well, yes, they can, but not just by rolling over it. Usually it has to be ingested. So everything about his previous life, other than the memories just now, seem to have gone away, including his voice. Nice fluid simulation. I like it. That's not what the image I had of him from the introduction, though. It was the bulging vein type emote thing. This slime is going to be quite expressive. How do all of these plants sustain themselves in a cave that doesn't seem to have much of a sunlight? I think talking to yourself is kind of usual in this kind of situation. I don't think this storing stuff in your stomach predator is quite what you had in mind when you came up with the suggestion for the ability. Seems quite useful, yes. Quite a cheat ability compared to, say, having a useless goddess. What level of process are we getting? So a basic appraisal type thing. So rather than atoms and whatnot, and how we perceive the world, everything is here made of magi jewels. Useful. So he is now completely devastating an entire ecosystem. Is there a limit to what he can store? Are you eating the crystal as well? I would say yes. This cave seems to be quite a good starting area for him. What was that noise I made? I wasn't expecting quite so expressive emotions from a slime. And also, is his body that water repellent that he doesn't absorb or dissolve into it? What was the point of the skill if he could do it before he obtained it? Or was that just like acknowledgement that he did it? Well, he had pain nullification, didn't he? Yeah, there we go. That's quite useful. He's got pain nullification, physical damage. Same thing. Heat, cold, electric. Hello? God? If... Oh, okay, that was answered. But I was going to say, if my previous experience on fantasy type things and resonating voices, it would usually be some sort of weird sword or relic. A big dragon-looking monster, that would work too. Oh yeah, how... He can't exactly communicate if he isn't talking, but apparently reading minds is something this thing can do. That would be useful. Of course, nothing can be easy, can it? There are caveats. Is that it? Is he just lonely? So yes, he wouldn't have too many visitors coming by for a tea party. But if he can obtain skills like he did with the water propulsion. Well, that was useful. So he can learn skills by ingesting things and obtaining it that way, or just by doing it. Yeah, why would you say no to that? Unless there are negative effects that we just aren't privy to. Are you ignoring the fact that you gain the sense of sight to see the thing behind you? Pretty much what I expected, but that face was a bit weird there. And how was he sealed in this cave? I don't see any chains or runes or anything. Does that mean there's one of every element? Or every element? One of 4 elements? You have to come back and talk to him. Yes. In certain senses. It depends if this world has other reincarnation people. If it's unique, but... It was only a matter of time. If reincarnation isn't an odd occurrence in this world, then sooner or later someone will pop along. Through a roundabout kind of way, yes. If he could choose his skills on his way here, kind of like Kazuma, but not. He's quite a good host, isn't he, this dragon? Although he hasn't offered a drink or any lunch or anything, so... Was this that... the the town we saw in the beginning? Or was that just a separate occurrence? Also, if you were, a storm dragon or something, why were you using fire? Unlimited imprisonment. Oh. So there are people who die and come to this world, and there are others who just get summoned. Which would I rather? One means you have to die, but the other one means that you are forcibly pulled out of the world that you knew against your will. In a sense, it's the same in our world, but we've kind of interrupted that due to our technology and intelligence. And your first friend type thing is a massive dragon. Well, if you don't want it, I can easily go. Oh my god, we've got Tsundere Dragon. Yep. I don't... This dragon is, I don't know. Got reincarnated, came to another world, made a friends with a storm dragon. He did die as a hero, though, pushing someone else out of the way. I'm not going to question what was on your... Not the... You only need to do the hard drive. But, man of his word, everyone needs a friend like him. I don't think... Why would you have stuff on your hard drive that you want immediately destroyed? I don't understand. But yes, I was warned beforehand about listening to the... I'm guessing this is the intro, but it's at the end. But since I already know certain things, it was deemed to be fine. And I'm not sure about this song on first glance isn't the right word, but let's turn it up a bit. I think it will grow on me. If only the instruments and whatnot were slightly more acknowledgeable. And as good as that episode was, I still haven't fully forgiven the slice pun. What I gathered from this initial episode is a lot of what I would assume to be standard practice coming to this kind of reincarnation life thing where everyone, for some reason, have skills. Being able to use magic and dragons running around, fine, but what's with this system of skills and numeracy? Oh, your health is now registered as numbers. Since it's, you've now recovered 10% of your health with HP regeneration. There has been several times when I thought, living in this kind of game world would be kind of cool. But if you think about it for any limited amount of time, questions start arising. And I can understand him not taking fuller advantage of the fact that he was apparently being given all of these skills, because he was dying. That would usually take precedence over, well, pretty much everything. But his name and his memory will live on, and his hard drive won't. So everything in his past life has now been wrapped up succinctly. Yay! There is still that section from the beginning I don't quite yet understand, being the bombers and the city and whatnot. Because it was later talked about the dragon burnt down a town as well. But that was nothing to do with the beginning because there was no bombers or anything involved. So what was that? Was that just showing off someone else that died and therefore came to this world like he did? Unless that was the one that was summoned. Because I don't think bodies just evaporate like that, usually. I don't know yet if this is a kind of show that would mention something and then not have it referenced or introduced. So I'm going to go with that was the one that was summoned because we were shown that and then it was talked about later in the episode. Might be wrong. Who knows? What I do know is that it's lucky he can't put on weight because the amount of things that he ingested there... Good thing he seems to have some sort of limitless inventory system, which would be probably one of the most useful things in a game like WoW. The amount of times I've been trying to carry stuff and it's like, this is too much. I would only want to make a single trip. If I had this inventory system, I could just put it all in there, get up the stairs, and dump it all. Perfect. But yes, that was episode 1 of Slime, and hopefully you enjoyed it. I am abbreviating the title quite heavily, so bear with me. But still, if you did, then let me know. 3 main ways: liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't realised it because you've been watching one of the variations from the description, or you've just not been very observant, I am having to change how my channel works because of copyright strikes and the such, so hopefully that's okay. If you are watching this over on BitChute or one of the others, then please also remember to keep the YouTube video up and running in the background. Just mute it a little. Or completely, there's no mute a little. But still, I've enjoyed myself, and there wasn't too much information for me to comprehend in the first episode, which is nice. It was quite easily digestible. So I don't think I quite need it, but get yourself some rest, and I'll see you in the next one. I really do thank each and every one of you for watching along and helping my channel grow. And I kinda know what you're thinking. May I name Go Big Colour too? Is I Am Better for help? Well, to answer your very strangely and poorly constructed questions, possibly? Well, if you want to head over onto Patreon and pledge some bit of support, you can help this channel get even further than what it is now. Either way, thank you.